Okay.
Depends on which way your horse is.
North Carolina had 32 regiments of infantry engaged in this battle, and they claimed that 1 out of every 4 Southern soldiers that fell on this battleground was from that state. Now that is a North Carolina monument into the right of the drive ahead. Now this artillery position, which you notice along this ridge, was considered one of the stronger artillery positions during the war. When I say that, it was about the only time during the Civil War that either army could place 140 of those muzzle-loading guns along their front battle line to an advantage, which Lee could place at Gettysburg, while Meade could place not more than 80 on Cemetery Ridge to an advantage, although he had more than 300 artillery guns. Now, during the 3 days' battles, we had actual fighting over 16,000 acres of land, 25 square miles. There was just 22 hours of actual fighting time. And in those 22 hours, they claimed the casualties, not less than 51,000 men, although they never knew just exactly what Lee had at Gettysburg or what he lost. No records found of Lee's army during the invasion of the North. They believe those records were destroyed in the Richmond fire, although we do not know that. There are some that claim Lee left the state of Virginia with 90,000 men and suffered a loss of 30,000 during this invasion. Now, the oldest man who fought in this battle was that man by the name of John Burns, whose statue I pointed out west of the town. He was just a little over 70 years of age. The younger boys between the ages of 12 and 14. Our youngest commissioned officer was Lieutenant Bayard Wilson, 19 years of age. Our Confederate line extended down through the town to our right. Those are the Lutheran Theological Seminary buildings, which this ridge was named from. Go to the next street. That building standing to your right stood at the time of the battle. Notice the plaque on the corner of the building. All Civil War houses are marked with the bronze plaque. The second large brick building ahead to the right stood at the time of this battle. From the cupola on that building, the Northern generals, General Buford and General Reynolds, took observation of the first day's battleground. Now they claim that General Lee's headquarters is just on into our left in an apple orchard under canvas. But you will notice as we drive out on the highway, they have a stone house standing on the opposite side of the highway that they call Lee's headquarters.
Well, you know, the Minnick history says that that's Lee's headquarters.
That is Lee's headquarter marker. That was placed there by the War Department and the government.
Minnick says...
The monument I had to the right up here is, remember, the 26th Pennsylvania Emergency Regiment was organized over at Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and made up of schoolboys. John Burns's home stood on the corner to our right, where that house now stands, and he was High Constable of the Borough of Gettysburg at that time. Now we had the Christ Lutheran Church, the Catholic Church, and the Presbyterian Church, those larger buildings standing through the town. Those were occupied as hospitals, floating hospital flags. And it was contrary to the rules of war to fire on a hospital flag. They observed those rules at that time. Yes, as the Northern troops made the retreat through the town, Chaplain Howell of the 90th Pennsylvania Regiment was killed with a marker now stands at the foot of the church steps. That church was the Northern Hospital on July the 1st. And while Lincoln was in Gettysburg, he occupied the corner room, the second floor of the gray brick building on the opposite side of the circle. He was here as a guest of Judge Wills. Now there is a solid shot lodged in the brick wall of that building. You'll notice in the red brick underneath the third window down, up by the flag, there was a spent shot in the first day's battleground. The red brick house into our right stood at the time of the battle. You notice the plaque between the two windows. The house in the corner to our left stood at the time. Oh yeah, see the plaque to the left of the doorway?
Yeah, Civil War flag. I have one of those.
Have you? Yeah.
My house was here long before.
Oh yeah. The small white shingled house I had to the right stood at the time. I usually tell them about this. They'll come out the first day. And those buildings into your left with the plaques on, those are Civil War buildings. When we turn right here.